my name is Miranda, and today I'm here to react to episode 2 of Fakes on Netflix. I wasn't super in love with the first episode, but the ending is what really drew me in because you find out that all of this we knew was from Zoe's point of view, but I, along with I think the audience, just naively assumed that because it was Zoe's point of view, it was true and it was what happened, and we find out at the end that Becca said, no, hold the phone, that's not what happened at all, and now we're gonna get the same episode and the same events that we saw happening from Becca's point of view, which I'm very excited about because I didn't super love Becca. Like, I just felt like she was kind of just like a caricature of a character, but it makes sense now if that's how Zoe views her, as like she's always the one having to be bailed out and Zoe's the one like showing up and giving her rides and stuff like that. If that's like not true, I'm excited to see what Becca's whole take on this is and how Zoe is portrayed. In Zoe's point of view, we saw Becca offer to buy clothes for her. I feel like maybe in this point of view, like, Zoe will be more of a moocher, like, you know, ask for things. And I also am curious to see how the whole Clem situation is from Becca's point of view because, yeah, Zoe's definitely likes him a lot more than it seems like Becca does as a girlfriend, but we also know that's Zoe's point of view, so maybe she is a better girlfriend than she seems. We'll have to check it out. So she is still passed out on the couch, but it just looks like she's exhausted. It doesn't look like it's from drinking like last time. Oh, that's definitely different already. She didn't like run screaming. She was like, alright, I know what to do. She's literally like, she knows exactly what to do. She's blockading the door and she's going for something. She has a burner phone? Oh my gosh, she's way more sophisticated than she seemed in the first episode. That's awkward. But also, wow, she's really smart. Like, she knew exactly where to go and what to do. Way different than how she seemed last episode. Way different. He's not even looking up to talk to her. That's so rude. Like, that's your daughter, dude. I guess that's how she gets her money, which I can't say I blame you. If your dad is like that and not aware of things going on, I would also take advantage of him for money. He's gotta give you something, right? If not love and affection. Dad, what? That's hysterical. She's like, I'm just gonna pass this off, honestly, to my sister. I don't even think we knew she had a sister in the last episode. It was never mentioned, right? You do kind of have to blame the dad in a sense, right? Because it's like, yeah, she asked for money and was taking advantage, but who also thinks that Model UN needs $400 at a high school? Like, that's kind of on him. Yeah, I like her a lot better already. She's more like, I don't know. She's less polished, right? And less of like an airhead. Which again, is that something she presents to the world, or is that just how Zoe views her? Oh, wow, is she with Clem? Like, what? She's literally making out with some other dude in front of a bunch of people. That's weird. And wasn't he at the party? Because in the last episode, she said, like, oh, Clem says hi, but I haven't even seen him. Their friendship already seems cuter in this episode. Like, it seems more equal. But also, did she not call her for a ride? Did she just show up to, like, come grab her? Because that's already different. Of, like, it seemed a lot more egocentric on Becca's part, right? And now it's like they're definitely like they're singing together, they're getting along, like it's totally different. Uh-oh. She is way different, yeah, Zoe. Like, she's kind of still the same, but like she definitely talks more instead of just being like, yeah, like she's coming up with her own ideas. They're both blaming each other. It's funny. Like, apparently this got in the way of the friendship. I guess that's what takes it, right? An empire of fake IDs is all it takes to undermine a decade-long friendship. $400, I feel better, though, is established. Too much money for a fake ID. She said the most she'd pay is $250. Unless, is that the return rate? No, that can't be the return rate, right? $400 can't be the return rate on $250. Oh, she didn't even get out and like put her to bed this time. Wow, this is so different. Like, this is crazy. And I feel like the truth is probably somewhere in the middle, right? Oh, and she sees the dad kissing that woman this time and doesn't like yell at her. Wow, like she just is very much more put together this episode. Like, if this is the real her, like I'm way more impressed than last episode because I also feel like it gives the actress a chance to like showcase more than one emotion, which was annoying in the last episode. So, oh, she doesn't have the sunglasses that she was wearing last time. Even the birdhouse is different? Oh, what could that mean? Like, they remember the birdhouses differently. And they're pretty different. Like, that's complete different sizes, different shapes. Oh, and they're not at Clem's game. This is so confusing. Like, does Clem just not exist in her world? Like, is this literally how she views him? And for Zoe, she likes him so much that he's, like, such an important part that she remembers. They seem like they have a way more genuine friendship, though, in this episode. Like, they just seem more on level with each other. I mean, that is pretty impressive. She did that both times. The look at the camera, like, see? Her idea. I just don't know that, like, if I could make a fake ID, my first thought would be, hey, let's make a business out of this. So I gotta respect the hustle, but also, like, would they really come up with this on their own? Like, maybe it was a, like, combined team thing, you know? That's what I mean, like, the truth is somewhere in the middle. Yeah, it's funny that, like, she's trying to talk her out of it, I feel like. In last episode, she was the one that was talking her into it. I just feel like, obviously, if this is their point of view, neither one is going to want to admit that it was their idea to do something illegal, right? But Zoe is the one that ends up in jail, so something happens where either Becca flips on her. I don't know. I just love the looks to the camera. It's so funny this episode. I didn't love it as much last one, but it's just so funny. They're printing them at the school. That's certainly a choice. Wow. She looks so worried still. At least that's still the same. Which also makes me think, like, she wouldn't be so just like, we could do this. Like, I feel like they're both kind of exaggerating each other's parts in this story, right? See, they seem just more genuine. I like it. Like, they're funnier. That poor teacher. He's gonna be a witness in the trial of, like, yeah, I saw them in the computer lab for way too long. It's funny because I feel like this is her whole point of view of being like, it was her idea, like, what she said is wrong, but, like, she seems way more involved in this whole process than she did in Zoe's point of view of it, so it's actually like she's kind of incriminating herself, in my opinion. Yeah, I just can't believe they're so blatantly doing this at school, because there is not really many reasons I could think of why you would explain having a ID, like, template hooked up into the printer, but also kind of amazing that their computer station can handle all this, because at my school, it would not have been able to. You couldn't print an actual piece of paper, let alone a fake ID. Is she crying? Oh my gosh, I thought she was like sobbing crying. She's gonna blow this whole operation. I called that, did I not? And it's even more than one thing. In the last episode, it was just like one dress. She was like, I'll buy for you. And this was like a whole stack of stuff. Okay, so it's still her that gives it to Tris. Like, I feel like this isn't vindicating her as much as I think. If anything, she should be mad that the other one portrayed her out to be just like such a dumb, like just flopping around everywhere, right? Like, not really caring or listening to what Zoe was saying, but yeah, I don't know why they didn't think of that, because, like, that's gonna be the first thing someone does. See, he even says, like, if you get them tested, then I can do 200. Why wouldn't he wait until they tested it to be sure? Like, I feel like he put them in such a bad position, but I also feel like he probably wasn't thinking, as evidenced by a lot of what we've seen, so. They took the alcohol too? Ladies. That man is getting paid minimum wage to deal with you. Actually, this is in Canada. He might be getting paid a little bit better, but still, not enough to deal with whatever you got going on. Again, I would not say that fun is the word I would use. That was so stressful, and you should take that as a warning sign to get out. See, this seems more like the girl, the Becca we got to know last episode, like this just like randomness, but we also see she's a lot smarter and capable than Zoe portrayed her out to be. And in both, she did make the ID, because I remember last episode she did say, like, oh, the Santa Claus lane was all I could think of, and this episode we saw her actually put that in. So, I guess Zoe just cut that part out. Yikes. What people? Like, it sounds like it's just what you think. Ooh. We didn't really see her call her out at all last episode, but she also was kind of just, like, putting up with her and being like, this is how she is. You're supposed to sound like Zoe, not this. I feel like that's, like, her, like, portrayal, right? You're supposed to sound like my portrayal, my image of Zoe. And I guess technically I thought, like, oh, she just showed up, but, like, we could have just cut out the scene. Like, they could just be cutting out each other's scenes where they don't look as good, right? Like, Becca could have just been cutting out the scene of her calling and being like, can you come pick me up? How is she the one that said something mean and started this, and she's the one that's leaving now and being, like, so hurt and offended? I'm so confused. Like, if anyone should have left, it should have been Zoe. Oh, I love that outfit with the little butterflies. That's so cute. Oh, this is when she had her panic attack. Some older girl, that's the rudest thing you could have said. She's probably 2 years older than you. Some elderly woman is freaking out in the bathroom. I think she's like 17. Literally. She's just gonna have to go under. Like, as much as I would hate to do that, like, if it's my friend, I'm going under. Yeah. Oh, the poor thing. What a good friend, though. That is a good friend that will sit on a bathroom, public bathroom floor for you. See, like, I feel like the Becca we saw last episode wouldn't have known how to deal with this at all. And we didn't see this. We just saw her skipping and being like, I'm fine, I'm fine. But it makes more sense that Becca, like, came after her and helped her and talked her through this. Oh, they're so sweet together. Like, they're just such great friends. But it is strange, right, that we haven't seen Clem at all this episode, and he's supposed to be her boyfriend? Yeah, I 100% agree. And I kind of find it hard to think that you would have thought of that up on your own. Like, I feel like it took both of their combined ideas. How differently their lives would have gone if it just ended right here, right? Ooh, what's that look into the camera, though? Like, she's, like, irritated. Oh, dear. Look who comes in. No one's calling the cops on this, like, 30-year-old that looks like a drug dealer hanging out at high school. Oh, I guess they don't care. He just is like, welcome there. Cool. Oh gosh, it doesn't sound any better the second time you hear it either. I still don't understand why he would pre-sell. Like, you're so stupid, but I guess that's the point, right? Like, he literally told them to test it, and then he could move the merchandise. Oh, here we go. Yikes. She's gonna scream too, and I don't blame her. It's just so interesting how, like, different the story is, and I really, really like that episode better. But I think it's one because we got to see a better look at Becca, and she didn't, like, irritate me as much because she actually got to have a personality. But also, too, I just love the idea of making it, like, it makes it feel different and, like, outside of, like, all the other shows that kind of do similar stuff like this and tell stories about, like, people who do bad things, but, like, they're not bad. You know, like that morally gray kind of thing. Like, I feel like it makes them stick out in the fact of, like, they're like, a lot of these people are unreliable narrators, right? Because, like, they're not going to admit to doing anything bad for just, like, a greedy reason, right? Because, like, we just wanted money. So it's interesting setting up this dynamic already of, like, two people who quickly turned on each other. And it'll be interesting to see when they start to turn on each other, since, like, from this point of view, it really did look like they're really good friends. Like, they obviously have their spats and their touchy subjects, but they do seem like really good friends. So to go from Becca being not in jail and being like, yeah, that's not how it went at all, I'm literally, like, on top of a horse, like, just still rich and whatever, and Zoe in jail being like, you know, like, I'm here and Becca's not, like, how is that fair? Which, to be fair, does not seem fair, because both Becca and Zoe's point of views, Becca is heavily involved in this, right? Like, she made the ID, she went with her, like, she kind of still talked her up about it and stuff like that. Like, yeah, she tried to talk her out of it more than this one, but I just feel like what we're getting at is that it took both of them to make this happen, and now neither wants to take the full credit or anything, but, like, I'm just so curious what exactly happens that Becca doesn't go to jail and Zoe does. Like, how do they swing that? So, yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what the next episode will be like. I think this definitely elevated it in my eyes, the series, and makes it interesting because now you can kind of compare and contrast things and look for that as you watch each episode, which I really, really like. So, yeah, if you have seen this episode, please feel free to leave your thoughts about it down below in the comments. Also, make sure this video got a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!